Alright guys, earlier this year, on New Year's to be exact, I put together a video titled Everything You Need to Know About Monster Taming in 2024. Now, in that video, we went over all of the known major game releases in the genre that were confirmed for the year, but since then, we've got some release dates for games that were previously just slated for 2024 and have had a few new games pop up, plus we've had some delays and whatnot. So in today's video, we are going to be doing an updated version of that segment and going over which major releases are still coming in 2024 and when they are coming based on what we know. That being said, to avoid redundancy, this is going to be a much quicker and fast-paced video than the previous one, so I do still highly recommend checking out that one if you want to learn more about some of the games mentioned. But that being said, make sure to sit back, relax, subscribe for daily monster taming videos, and let's dive in. Alright, we're going to start things off by banging the games and announcements off in chronological order of release date. Then after we've done that, we'll go into games that just have 2024 slated as release with no specific window in question. To start things off, we just had the early access release of Coromon Hyper Auto Battlers, which is a roguelike auto battler where you can recruit monsters for, well, battle. The game's got a lot of really cool systems, and I just put out a review for it, so you can check that out linked below if you're interested. We also just had the Cassette Beasts showcase as well, which brought forth a lot of information about the upcoming multiplayer update, which we'll get to in a minute, more platforms for the game, and stuff like that. Again, this stuff just came out, so I felt like mentioning it. On April 8th, we will have the release of Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions, which was previously listed as just 2024 the last time we did this video. This is a music listening idle game where you just sort of capture monsters while the game's playing in the background. On April 15th, we will have the release of Critter Crops, an upcoming hand-drawn monster raising and farming sim. This one was previously listed as Q1, so it had a slight delay, but it's still coming soon. Sometime in April, we're also supposed to be getting the release of Evo Creo 2, a Pokemon-like mobile game that admittedly has been delayed over like the course of 4 years, so take this release with a grain of salt. We're also supposed to be getting more information on Yokai Watch Ghostcraft, this new project that was announced sometime in April as well, so I'll keep you guys up to date. This seems to be some sort of more global-centric Yokai Watch successor. On May 20th, we actually got the confirmation that Cassette Beasts multiplayer update, which is free by the way, will be releasing alongside its Moonstone Island crossover update, which will bring forth a new outfit as well. The update is in beta right now, but this will make it public. Over to June 14th, we will be having the release of Monster Hunter Stories on Switch, PS4, and Steam, which is an upgraded remake of the original Monster Hunter spin-off title by the same name, originally launched on 3DS. On the exact same day, moved up from its previous June 21st launch, we also have the release of Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, which is an upgraded version of Shin Megami Tensei 5 that launched on Switch, but will be coming to all major consoles. It'll include a new story, new monsters to tame, and more. Sometime in spring, we can expect the release of Moonstone Island on Switch. No exact date, but I'm guessing by June at the latest. Over to July 10th, we will have the release of Home of the Yokai, which is a monster taming RPG that includes base building, an open world, and auto battling as its key components. Interestingly, they haven't updated the Steam page as of the time I'm putting this video together, but that might change soon. Sometime in the third quarter of the year, we will also be getting the release of Dragon Spirits 2, which is the sequel to the Active Time Battle monster taming game that has you in some sort of video game world of your creation. The sequel moved from the much more limited RPG Maker engine to Unity, so this should be a notable upgrade. Sometime on or around Labor Day, which is in September, we will be having the third annual Monster Taming Direct. In the last video, I mentioned that it'd be in August, but that was actually a mistake. Last time we did it, we were originally planning for August, but then ended up doing Labor Day because we figured it was a nicer day. I forgot that was in September, so we'll probably be doing it on the same time and date as last year, but stay tuned for more information. Then all the way to December, on the 12th, we will have the release date of Mirrored Soul, which is a Soul Hackers inspired monster taming RPG, which Soul Hackers is a spin-off series of the SMT franchise if you didn't know. We also have Lumentale that's supposed to be releasing in December as well, which is a story-driven monster taming RPG being developed by the same team that brought us Pokemon Xenoverse. That being said, we were supposed to have the alpha already, or the beta, or whatever it was, for Kickstarter backers, but I believe that was delayed, so we will have to wait and see if the game actually does end up coming out on time, or if it's going to be a 2025 title. Okay, next we have a few games that have 2024 listed, and just like last time, we do seem to have a bit of a gap between spring and winter this year, which is likely because a lot of these games just haven't been announced yet and are actually coming out during that time. Firstly, we have the Sky Climbers Early Access, which is supposed to be releasing this year, or at least the beta at the very least, which is a monster taming sandbox and city building game. Cassette Beast is going to be releasing on Android and iOS at some point this year. I think this will act as a really good way for them to expand themselves. I know the mobile version of Coromon has been quite popular and aided immensely in its success, so I hope it does the same here. We also have Beastie Ball coming out, which is a sports-themed monster taming game with turn-based combat. Still got to play the demo on this one. Looks really cool. Bugaboo Pocket's another one coming this year, which is sort of like a Tamagotchi-esque raising simulator with mini-games. We got Ova Magica, a monster taming, raising, farming, and crafting game inspired by Stardew Valley and Pokemon as well. This is another Kickstarter game that actually has been giving constant updates, so kudos to them for that. Creature Keeper is still slated for 2024, which is an action combat RPG which has you tame and utilize various monsters whilst also controlling your player character, who uses like a sword, a bow, and stuff like that. Eternal Exodus is an SMT-inspired demon tamer that was initially slated for Q1, but now is just listed for 2024. And finally, we got Spirit Tales, this really cute looking monster taming RPG, though we haven't heard much from this game in quite some time, so we'll have to wait and see. Now, all of that being said, it's important to keep in mind that beyond just game launches, there are going to likely be a lot of new monster taming games being announced just as a result of the success of palworld, and any of the games that have already been released in early access this year, like palworld, like Tales of Tenorio, like Kaitomon, etc., will also be having updates periodically throughout the year. So this is by no means an all-encompassing list of what's happening, because there's just likely so many things that we can't predict. I'm actually really excited at the prospect of more monster taming games getting announced this year, and one thing I really do hope is that we continue to get more high quality monster taming games that make their way to the forefront, and we don't just end up with a bunch of AAA studios trying to capitalize on the success of palworld by creating a bunch of kind of sucky microtransaction filled games. But I think even if we get an influx of games that are like that, we will also get an influx of passionate game developers, and that's what this channel is all about. Other than that though, guys, thank you so much for watching, and thanks for the continued support for my channel and the monster taming genre. And also don't forget to subscribe so we can one day reach that 100k milestone. I just wanted to quickly say special thanks to all of our supporters, especially Jim Hamilton, Dro Ghost, TragSoft, Candy Morency, and Nemo, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.